Share something with you about the life and children. And my children always said that one thing what I showed them is, it wasn't just one thing, there was a few of them, but it was about having bravery and courage and not giving up. And I would have said it's not so much about not giving up, but it's so much of not making a label to have got a meaning about the pain, what us as humans we experience. And hear me out on this. When we don't get something what we want or desiring, we're trying to find a clue. Why is it that it's not there? It has to be some kind of a meaning. But I will say this to you. Sometimes, and this is why originally sometimes people would come and see me and they would have said to me, what do you see for me? And as much as I wanted to give that to the people, sometimes there is no explanation. There is no explanation of like, there is a hex or there is universe was testing you. Sometimes it's just, it wasn't the path. It wasn't your alignment. Yeah. But more and more I was sitting with the spirit. It was about, as humans, we want to have a meaning and understanding of it. But sometimes I think it's the biggest freedom you can give to yourself. And that's why in my program, one of them is called From Limited to Limitless. And it doesn't mean that materialistically, it means internally. Is when there is no explanation, when there is no like, I need to have a label that I've got less of the pain. When there is no label, and I'm okay with that because life happened and it could not happen any other way because it just happened. If we ask ourselves, and if you're sitting in front of the mirror, some of the things which you experienced, would you want to experience it? No. Who would want to experience, let's go say, well, my best friend dying, you know, when I was 17. So like things like that. Who would want, oh, more other things, you know, like what happened to you. Every story has a story, you know, and did we want to experience those things? No, none of us didn't want to, but they were there. But one thing what I've taught my children is not to make a meaning to, in a sense, is recognize it. And if it's a pattern of you're not speaking up or not holding a boundary, recognize that and just set the boundary and keep moving on your path, on your life. Because if you keep sitting in a life and going, why is life happening to you? You're dictating life to life to do whatever it wants. I believe into it that you have to have a plan, or you have to have a vision board, yeah? And in the sense of certain things, curveballs were going to come in on your path. But I want you to see it is that the curveballs were going to come in, but you hold your core. Not so much of the muscle core, what I'm referring, but I'm referring to you holding up your internal core, that precision. That is what I talk about, the magnet, the mirror, you know, different activations, which I posted up on YouTube and you can listen to it. And they all have got meaning. And the meaning is, and sometimes people are impatient and asking me, when is this person going to come into my life? When is this going to happen? Instead of focusing on, if they want to have more love, can they become more lovable? And it's okay if it's not there tomorrow to love, but while they're doing the work, or maybe it's going to take a year or 2 years. Because if we have two people, they both need to be in alignment to come together. But as humans, we want everything now. Yeah, and I was like that when I was a little girl. I'll give you that. Is impatient. My mom would have said, just Yelena, just wait for it. I'm like, when? So one of the things what I had to learn in my life is to have patience. And certain things happen in my life where literally I had to learn to be patient because it wasn't able to be manifesting straight away instantly how I wanted to have. And for whatever reasons, we came here with some of the lessons what we sign up for. We have to accept that that's how it is. But if we see them that they're all not in the greatest good for you, then maybe they're teaching you something that what do you really desire? So it's a polar opposite of it. So what I mean by that is, if you have people that they're not respecting you, are you then not speaking up? Are you then maybe in a wrong environment too? So maybe you are speaking up, but you're in a wrong audience. Yeah? So this is where you need to have a look of it, is like, is it any of those things? Because if you're speaking in the wrong audience, you are going to be not understood. Yeah? So this is where I'm inviting you to be courageous, be innovator of your life, take a charge of that. With that we understand seasons come in. In Australia currently it's winter. So 4 different seasons do come through the year. But as humans, we think that we have to be on go, 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 go. If I can give you one thing is, and what I believe is the thing, is being peaceful. In every season you can be peaceful. Peaceful while you're planting, peaceful while there is a summer, peaceful in autumn, even though we're doing things, because we're doing it with certainty. And when we're in certainty, we're in peacefulness. But if we're doing it in rush and quick and fast and furious, remember, it's like a house. If we're doing quick and fast, furious foundations, is it going to last? Is it going to be there in 20, 30 years' time? Yeah, and we're talking about generational patterns, for example. So are they going to be there, and the legacy of you, even when you're gone from this earth life and being on the other side? So what is it? Like, I talk about my grandpa, and look at how much impact he left on me. And what a beautiful things he taught me, which I didn't understand when I was younger. He died before I was 15. So, and which I'm using it even now. And I talk about it all the time. So this is where, if you want to be creating impact in the world, sometimes, what is going to be impact after 20, 30 years or 50 years or in 100 years time from you on your generational family lineage? And so for me, it's the thing where I was teaching children to be courageous, to be brave, to go against all the odds. Even if somebody's saying, you can't do this. Yes, you can. So, and you don't have to do conventional way. You can do it unconventional way. Because who says that conventional way is the only way to achieve something? And maybe you are listening to this today, and maybe you are like me, a fusion between being the healer and then hearing the things from the other side, like a medium, and your loved ones from the other side, and fusing that together with identity work, with beliefs, with limiting beliefs, fusing that together with medical knowledge for me because of nursing, and all of that to put it together in one word, which is healer. So that's why I don't like to carry any of the hats except the hat of the healer. But then sometimes people don't understand, and they confuse it and think it's just one way. But my work is not just one way, because I don't believe the humans are only one way. Absolutely not. And just like our the fingerprints are unique to us. That doesn't mean that all the identity, all the beliefs happen one, but there is similarity in some of them, the people pleasing, but that doesn't mean in the childhood they all develop the same way for you. So as humans, we're very complex creatures, if you want to call it. But one thing what everyone is wanting to have is to be loved, to be supported, to be nurtured. But instead of asking that from the society or the community, you need to recognize to give that to yourself. And then the things are going to come to you like a magnet. Absolutely like a magnet. And that's why I talk about it. The things about when you're drinking water, How are you talking to the water? How are you talking to yourself? When you're cooking food, how are you talking to yourself? When you look at on my socials, you've seen some of the videos of my plants and how many plants do I've got inside of my house. They're all thriving. My friends bring plants to me and they go like, can you revive these plants with your energy? And it's, yes, it is part of it, it's energy, but part of it is, what do I carry regarding the plants? What do I carry regarding the world? And this is where we think that we can just position the plant because it says it's in sun, it's this, it's that. But then it's your energy. How is affecting it? And if your energy is in a way of angry constantly, because you're angry with the world, you're angry with yourself, then the plants can feel it. So do other people feel it too. So in order for your life to change, you need to recognize things about yourself. So in order for your life to grow in a direction, you need to set in which direction do you want to have the life to go to. And if the curveballs come in, don't make the curveballs to take over all of the meaning of life, because life happened to each one of us. And we're not here to say this is heavier or this is less heavier, so you should be like this because it's less heavy. Some people have got things and it's heavy for them. And some people have got more things onto it and they can hold it too. And we're not here to compare the stories at all. And please don't compare your story, your life, to someone else's, because everyone is feeling their story differently than you. They live that.